Hello and welcome to the first ever Awardco Culture Quarterly. I'm Steve Sonnenberg, Awardco founder and CEO. I couldn't be more excited to be speaking with you today. We've had so many people register, and I appreciate all the excitement that you bring. Every Tuesday morning, I meet with our entire company in an all-hands meeting we call RTG, which means Recognize the Good. We celebrate the wins with the various departments and discuss the latest things that is happening at Awardco. So we thought we'd bring that to you each quarter. As we said, this is our first time getting in front of all our amazing customers to give a quarterly update. The first question is probably, why? Why are we doing this Culture Quarterly? Well, we have several reasons. To recognize the good, to be better partners. We're continually looking for ways to improve. We've come a long way, and we want to show you what we've been working on. We're excited about what we have in store, and we can't wait to show you. Lastly, we need your feedback. As you watch this, make notes. Tell us what you want more of. We'll ask for your feedback because this event is for you. So here's the agenda for the next 90 minutes. We'll briefly look back at 2022, and we'll focus on what's ahead in 2023. We'll discuss industry trends and what we've learned from our millions of users. We'll have 2 customer spotlights with Okta, who will join virtually, and Solution Reach, who will join us here at the Awardco HQ in Utah. I'm excited to have our product teams discuss our product updates, and we'll have Callie Hyde, our Director of Enterprise Sales, demo one of our most requested feature. But first, we love to incentivize and engage. So we have an incentive for you to stay with us the entire presentation. You're all familiar with the scannable code on the screen. At Awardco, we call them award codes, and we use them to award points. We've placed 5 award codes at the end of this presentation for the first 5 people who can scan the award codes and create an account in our reward platform. They will receive $100. But you'll have to stay to the end and be fast to win. So let's take a quick look back at 2022. Awardco moved into a new global HQ last fall in Linden, Utah, just south of Salt Lake City. It's a 200,000 square foot building designed to motivate the next generation of people who recognize the good. We have hosted a few of you watching in this space, and we look forward to hosting many more of you. As we look back on 2022, it might be best to start at the start. Why does Awardco exist? And how do we work together to fulfill that purpose? We exist to recognize the good in each of us and reward the value we bring to each other. Life is much more fulfilling when looking through the lens of positivity. So, how did we do in 2022? We now have close to 3 million users in 141 different countries. Last year, we had 9.1 million recognitions, which means every 3.4 seconds, someone is being recognized. Each one of those recognitions has a story behind them. Each one involves people doing good and others recognizing the good. Obviously, we can't look at all 9 million recognitions in the time that we have, but we can look at the one that really touched me. This story comes from a client, Tower Health. A shift manager at Tower Health saw that a patient that they were discharging from the ER, a woman struggling with homelessness, didn't have any shoes. Before they discharged her from the ER, the manager began searching the hospital for a pair of shoes. When she couldn't find any shoes, she took off her own and gave them to the woman. Her colleagues saw this and recognized her in the Awardco platform. Tower Health executives saw the recognitions and promoted her good deeds. Even the local news affiliate got involved, and they covered this act of kindness. Thank you all for making the world a better place. You never know the impact you may have had on someone that needed you just to say something positive to get them to the next day. Now, we added a lot of wonderful people to the Awardco family this past year. Many brands we cannot show. We respect our clients' privacy, but we're grateful to be working with many of the largest companies in the world. In 2022, we also powered up our partnerships. We strengthened our partnerships with Amazon Business and became the only vendor listed in a brand new rewards and recognition category on Amazon. We are both collaborating to bring all the features you love about Amazon to Awardco. We also powered up our alliance with Deloitte. Now all Awardco clients can gain access to world-class human capital management and consulting, as well as global tax expertise. And look forward to a global recognition experience report that you can participate in later this year. Now, this past year, we also partnered with the Utah Jazz. The partnership is helping us branch out to bring recognitions to more than just employees. We're doing it for fans, which is helping us explore external recognitions from clients, prospects, and customers. One of the ways we partnered with the Utah Jazz is giving out monthly awards in the community. We call these goodness grants, and they're given to unsung heroes across the country to strengthen their efforts. We hope to partner with more of our customers soon to continue this movement in your communities. Overall, 2002 saw us make a lot of progress on Awardco's foundation, a powerful, all-in-one platform that is flexible and customizable. The largest reward network on the planet to promote personal choice, to address the needs of a diverse workforce, and real program impact and reward value. Always zero markups, transparent pricing, and no hidden fees. All that adds up to Awardco building value-focused solutions that drive behavior and build culture. So, what's ahead? Let me paint a picture of where we're going. First, we want to become the world's largest configurable marketplace. That means we're connecting all e-commerce platforms worldwide, giving you the controls to display what products and services are most meaningful to your employees and customers. In 2015, Awardco had a vision and paved the way to bring all of Amazon products to your employees with no markups and all the benefits that Amazon brings us. This vision continues with our partners at Amazon, and I'm grateful for future enhancements that we're working together on. But today, I'm grateful for a new integration with Shopify. Shopify is an e-commerce platform where entrepreneurs and businesses can list their products and build their own e-commerce store. Shopify has over 4 million different sites selling products, like Allbirds, a footwear company that puts natural materials and sustainability first. Or even Vuori Clothing, a new athletic clothing line designed for the active lifestyle. Because their platform is built on Shopify, we can stream their products directly on the Awardco platform with their permission. Shopify is also used in 175 countries. Through this new integration, we can provide more redemptions all over the world. Because our award network is growing rapidly, we are working towards a new, sleek design to make it easier to see what products are available and in which countries. You will be able to build award networks in real time. If you want to build a wellness catalog, it's easy. By joining health, gift cards, memberships, Amazon products, maybe that has weightlifting items, and you can have many Shopify stores that focus on wellness items. With the latest advancements in our award network, we're organizing the world's incentive spend on one platform. Awardco will always be centered on rewards, recognition, and incentives. For the workforce, rewards, recognition, and incentives help with talent attraction, retention, well-being, culture building, lifestyle enabling, and driving purpose. We've been focusing in this area since our founding and will continue to do so. We're also exploring these powerful motivators on the customer side: customer attraction, retention conversion, customer loyalty, fandom, and referrals. There also is an interesting spot in the middle of every customer-employee interaction. Rewards, recognition, and incentives has a part to play here. Awardco is exploring these areas. This year, if you're interested in this, reach out and let's have a conversation about it. A-Pay has also been received very well. If you're unfamiliar, A-Pay is what we've termed reward compensation. We've created an easy way to automate the distribution of points at set intervals through our recognition program builder. At Awardco, we give out A-Pay once a month, depending on your length of service and your employment determines how much you get each month. We cap it at 150 points per month. This had one of the biggest impacts in our organization. Smart award networks allow you to allocate points for redemptions in only specific award networks or catalogs. So you can create swag pay, wellness pay, or any specific pay that you want. Recently, we had more people start with swag pay to automate the onboarding experience. If I were to recognize you 100 points, those points can only be used in the company swag store. Put them together, and you get lifestyle spending accounts, or LSAs. People love having disposable income dedicated to improving their lives. This is a pay that can't be used for bills or gas. It is separate from regular compensation. LSAs are becoming increasingly popular as organizations look for ways to attract new talent, and LSAs have been proven to help with retention. Because Awardco has created the world's largest configurable marketplace, you have the ability to create powerful LSAs for your employees, now inside of Awardco. So, what are all the ways you can use Awardco now? Because our marketplace sits at the top of everything, you can use it to run wellness programs, remote procurement solutions, customer loyalty programs, uniform distribution programs, by automating a point distribution at a set cadence and matching that point distribution to only the uniform catalog that you would build. You can also run patient feedback programs and seek positive recognitions. You can run sales incentive programs, IT compliance programs, and we've recently seen organizations using Awardco for community volunteerism. These are just a few of the things that we're looking at in 2023. More exciting things are to come. Now, I'd like to introduce you to a couple of our best and brightest to discuss some of the trends we're seeing in rewards and recognition. Please welcome Bronson Dameron and Paige Simpson. Hey, thanks for joining.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you, Steve, for that inspiration. My name is Bronson, and I'm part of the marketing department here at Awardco, and this is Paige.
Hi, Paige Simpson. I'm a client success manager here at Awardco.
And we've been working together to help develop a little bit of a talking track about 2023 trends. We've been researching a lot about the trends of 2022 and what we can determine from that and what we can learn from that in the rewards and recognition space. So it's exciting to be part of this. It's exciting to talk about it, and we hope that you draw some things from this. After this presentation and after ACQ in general, you will receive a white paper that will be able to go over all of these in depth that Paige and I are about to speak about. So, what did we learn from 2022 in our own data and from data from things like Deloitte and McKinsey, and we kind of wrapped it all together into something that we can really understand. So, first we need to understand the current environment. Here's what we're facing right now, and a lot of you at this event right now are probably facing a lot of the same things. Paige, and you work with a lot of our clients. What are they facing in terms of the current environment?
Yeah, it's a good question because I think a lot of the current environment has been so unprecedented. We love that word, right? And we're facing new things, right? Like we're going into this recession and companies are needing to focus a lot more on and invest in the talent that they have rather than maybe growing and investing in new talent. Yeah. I think that remote work has had an insane impact on the workforce, right? So like here at Awardco, we're on a hybrid model, right? Where some days in office, some days work from home. Some people are fully remote still, and other industries like healthcare and manufacturing never could go remote and never can. So I think it's been interesting to see our clients having to get really creative with their recognition strategies and be able to recognize and lean on new ways to recognize and, help with burnout or promote productivity or, help with, retention of employees and things like that. So the creativity has been unmatched, I think.
Absolutely. And we've also seen that rewards and recognition in general have such a huge impact on a lot of these issues that you may be facing. And that's what we want to talk about today. So as you can see here, why are total rewards critical? And when we talk about total rewards, many of you here already understand what that is. But that's encompassed in rewards and recognition, and benefits, and compensation, and a whole host of other things. But as we talk about it here, we're going to focus in on rewards and recognition. Why are total rewards critical? First of all, you can see here, lack of recognition is the #1 reason most professionals leave their jobs. That's from a study done by Gallup. And so when you think about it, rewards and recognition are so easy to do, and yet many people don't do them, right? Because people are leaving. That's the #1 reason most professionals leave. And then you can also see here, organizations with recognition programs had much lower turnover than those without. And it's simple to do, but maybe because it's so simple, we forget to do it, right? And so that's what the current state of things is. So we want to talk about some current gaps in the workforce value proposition. The workforce value proposition is something that Deloitte has come up with, where it is the employer's agreement with the employee. And if you like Venn diagrams, it's the middle of that Venn diagram, where it talks about what is the employer going to do and what is the employee going to do. So there's some gaps here that we want to highlight that you can take advantage of with simple actions that will have an impact almost immediately. The first gap in the workforce value proposition is value-driven recognition. Of course, by this stat, you can see here that corporate values are obviously important. Many employees know them and they think they are important. They see them as words on a wall, or they get them in email signatures or whatever it might be. Yet only 42% of those employees felt like those values had much effect. So there's a big gap here that we can highlight, right, Paige?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think values, a lot of people work really hard to cultivate these values and to create these values, and you want them to be effective, right, with your employees. One of our clients, Southwest Gas, right, they wanted to cultivate and encourage their employees and evolve their culture based on their values, right? And one of the values that they really wanted to hone in on was safety, right? They have this value of zero incidents, right? They wanted to foster this culture. And so what they did is they began to create different recognition programs based off of their value of safety. And this allowed them and their employees to really engage with this value, right? So managers could recognize employees, peers could recognize peers, and really recognize and uplift based on that value. Yeah. They were able to see an increase of 80% engagement with these recognition
That's
programs,
huge.
which is amazing, right? It's
Yeah.
What you want to hear is that your employees are seeing these values and they're actually putting them into practice, right?
Yeah.
They're actually living that way.
Absolutely. Like that previous stat said, only 42% of employees felt like it was valuable. If you could get that percentage up to 80%, right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's just with one program or a host of other safety programs, right? Many of our clients run other programs like wellness, or like you heard Steve talk about reward compensation and APay. Awardco is specifically tailored to be able to help you with whatever programs you want to run. And it's pretty impressive. So that one gap in the workforce value proposition is about value-driven recognition. And the other one we want to highlight is about talent investment. This is something that a lot of you on this call, you already know about. You know that talent investment is important. You know that professional development is important. But 71% of employees say learning and development increase job satisfaction. Paige, do you think that that is just professional development tailored to their specific role, or can that be anything? And do you have any experience with any of your clients that have been working on that with that?
It's a good question. I have the personal belief that if you're a good person, you'll be a better professional, right?
Yeah,
Everything that helps us learn and grow helps us be better at what we do. Here at Awardco, we actually sneakily stole something that our clients were putting into practice, right? We have a lot of opportunities to recognize based on learning and development. That's kind of something we really focus on. But something that I think is really cool is at Awardco, we created a catalog filled with redemption options based on learning and development. So Pluralsight courses, masterclass courses, Audible gift certificates, books like Shoe Dog and things like that encourage development not only professionally and in their line of growth, but also personally, right?
Yeah.
So it's fun to see different redemption options that people can learn and grow within the organization and externally.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see those on your screen right here. This is one of our education redemption networks that you can use. Paige, before this presentation, you were telling me a little bit about lacrosse. You're a lacrosse coach, is that right?
Yeah.
And professional development doesn't necessarily mean your own development or your own success. It can mean celebrating the success of others. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no worries. So as we move on, the third gap in the employee or the workforce value proposition is culture, purpose, and well-being. Now, rewards and recognition at Awardco, we talk a lot about this. We're excited about it. We feel really motivated about it. But as you look here, over 80% of employees state recognition improves their experience, their relationships, their engagement, and their overall happiness. I don't think that that's any super secret sauce. Like the previous slide said when Steve was presenting, it's a not so secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
When you recognize others and you appreciate others, it builds up yourself and it builds up others. So we looked into the psychology behind this, and there is actual psychology where it talks about when you recognize others, you benefit, as does the other person. Mm-hmm. So you need to help your employees feel like there's a bigger purpose. You need to help them realize that they can have an impact. And that's really important. Just having an impact is important no matter where you are. And Paige, do you have a story about that as well?
Yeah, I do. I am a big fan of recognition. That's why I feel like I'm here at Awardco, and I love Awardco. But when I'm not at Awardco, like Bronson said, I'm actually a high school girls lacrosse coach. So I spend a lot of time there with a lot of high school girls, and as you can probably imagine, there's a lot of emotions on the team, trying to figure out and navigate a lot of things like that. And we've seen one time we were playing a game and one of our players kept trying to score a goal and she kept missing and she came off and she was so frustrated. She could not get it. And so we pulled her off and we said, okay, listen, sometimes some people are meant to score the goal, but some people are meant to be playmakers. Yeah. And your role on the team might be to be a playmaker and to make that assist or make that pass so that someone else can make the goal. And so we calmed her down a little bit. We were able to then put her back in the game. That next play, she made an assist to goal. It was so fun to see her celebrate and be so proud of herself, but also so proud of her teammate who did score, right? They celebrated because we all won, right? So they ran and they celebrated those who did score, and she was so excited and thrilled that she could be a part of that win. And I think that comes across to us as organizations, right? Understanding our role, that it's much bigger picture than maybe that final win or that final goal, of understanding, we can move forward, and I play a big part in this organization, and I'm trying to make an impact where I stand, and I'm being recognized for that impact.
I love that. No matter where you are, you can have an impact where you stand. That's really great. You can have an impact on yourself, on your work, on your teammates, on the organization as a whole. It's really powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So as we move forward into this, we want to impress upon you that a thoughtful total reward strategy provides a springboard into future success. Now, a thoughtful strategy, I mean, that's kind of a buzzword. What is a thoughtful strategy in your mind, Paige?
Yeah, I think a thoughtful strategy, it really depends on your goals, right? So I think that first things first, you have to establish what you want to have happen, right? Do you want to increase productivity, increase overall happiness, change your culture, right? Yeah. It all depends on that, but I think a huge part of that is that consistency part, right? Whether it's consistently encouraging your managers to recognize their direct reports, or having an automated system that recognizes your employees for their birthdays or their service awards or things like that. And that consistency, along with the overarching goals that you've made, helps your employees feel that value and feel the drive to be better and do better and lift the company.
Yeah, I love what you said about consistency, because we found in our own data that a lot of recognitions happen at the end of the year. A lot of them happen at holiday programs, or you might wrap your service awards into that. And that's good. We're not saying that that isn't valuable. But we found that while there is a high ratio of rewards and recognition at the end of the year, conversely, in January and February, at the beginning of the next, recognition drops, and so does retention. A lot of employees start leaving. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe you can spread that out a little bit throughout the rest of the year. So to recap, value-driven recognition is a gap in the workforce value proposition, as is talent investment, culture, purpose, and well-being. These three things are where you can succeed in your thoughtful total reward strategy. And all you have to do is just put a little bit more effort into it and think about the impact recognition is having. So we will be sending out a white paper about this where you can dive into the details, you can get the statistics and everything like that. But we appreciate you watching this, and we'll send it over to Ryan, who is my favorite LinkedIn follow, and he's going to talk more about Okta. Here you go.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, everyone. So I am Ryan, and I'm on our enterprise sales team, and I am interviewing someone very cool today. Her name is Lara. She's at Okta. She's in San Diego. Hi, Lara.
Hi, I'm Laura Shanley, and I'm with Okta. We are about 6,000 Oktanauts globally, and Okta is an identity management service that allows employers the ability to connect any employee to any application on any device.
If your company does anything with single sign-on, and I'm sure they do, they know about Okta. So, okay, what I love about Okta and what so many of our people here love is you're just super creative. Your brand, your theme, everything about what you do is sort of fun, and people are going to hear about that today. But Laura, why don't we talk about what you're doing today? Tell us about some of the programs in place today.
So we launched Okta Appreciate April 1st of 2022, so we're almost 1 year old. We launched with a peer-to-peer programs, both non-monetary and every employee gets budget depending on their level in the organization, and that budget resets each month, so use it or lose it. We also have an anniversary or Oktaversary program with recognition each year and special milestone perks at 3, 5, and 10 years. We recognize birthdays and new hires with non-monetary recognition. And then since we launched, we've also added a couple of different company-wide nomination programs. And those programs more than tripled participation or number of nominations from the years past when they were not on the platform. We've added department-specific nomination programs. And with the initial pilot, the initial group that started that, they reported the most number of nominations and the most quality nominations that they ever had in their program while being on the platform. We've also added the ability for leaders to purchase additional budget in the platform.
Very cool. So it sounds like you're doing a little bit of everything when it comes to recognition. I'm kind of curious, what impact has it had to have this much recognition flowing in and out of the platform every single day for your people?
Yeah, so I mean, it's been huge that we've seen almost 150,000 recognitions in the last year, and for a company of 6,000, 100% of employees have received at least one recognition. 87% of employees have given at least one recognition, so we're really happy with the results.
And that is really huge, especially for those of you in the audience that think about your programs. Like Okta has 87% of their people who have given a recognition this past year, so pretty big. Okay, so this is probably a little bit of a harder question considering all that recognition, but do you have some favorite stories of people who have been recognized or examples of things going through the platform?
Yeah, so one of my favorites is when someone recognized the CEO. So I think that, you know, not everybody feels comfortable recognizing up, but we do try to encourage it. And when we saw that someone recognized the CEO, well, what happened? The CEO went on the platform, saw that recognition, commented on it, commented on a number of other recognition while he was there, and created a recognition. So it kind of created this snowball effect. And you know, it really does make a difference when leaders go on, and if they don't create recognition, we always encourage them at least comment, at least put an emoji when people know that they're seen. That's really, really important.
I really love that, and I get asked that all the time. Like, do you let people recognize up? And I like your story and how it sort of flows both ways. So, Laura, for those of you joining the call, by the way, lots of you might be exploring recognition solutions. You might be exploring Awardco. Laura has a really cool background because she's worked at different companies, she's managed different programs, she's been through RFP processes. So lots of understanding and lots of insights into our industry. Laura, what would you say, what makes the difference in your partnership with Awardco this past year?
Yeah, well, I can say that, yes, I have worked with a number of different providers and seen a lot of different solutions through RFP. One of the things that first attracted us to Awardco is the Amazon integration. In past experiences, sometimes employees would see something on the platform that would, you know, cost $100, but they could go on Amazon and get that thing for $50. So they weren't really feeling like they were getting the value. And so being direct to Amazon, you know, was a really big selling point. But what we've experienced since we've been with Awardco is that you all really walk the talk. And anyone can say anything in an RFP, but when you see it in action and you see how you all listen to the feedback, you know, the platform is really flexible and really configurable. but the things that we have asked for, we've seen those upgrades implemented in a short time. So that's a really big difference. And the people are amazing. Just you all are just really passionate and caring, and that is a big sets you apart.
Well, that's really good to hear. And I have to say, I work with a lot of our big clients, and that's one of my favorite things as well is the flexibility to solve problems and work with our product team to fix things and to make things better. And we do that for a lot of our clients. And you're going to meet the guy here in just a minute who's responsible for all of that. So, okay, Laura, let's talk about rollout. I know that was a big part of your story and the success that you've had the past year. Tell us a little bit more about what that looked like. How did you get people engaged and excited at the kickoff of this program?
Sure. So prior to rolling out Okta Appreciate, there was not a company-wide recognition platform or solution. So I think people were just really hungry for it. There were pockets of folks in the organization who had maybe their own program for their local teams. So one of the things that we did early was engage those stakeholders. So we found people in the organization who either were running a recognition program or they were really passionate about recognition, and we engaged those folks. Another thing, with the EAs in the org, we know that they are often just the hub of getting things done and, making recognition happen in teams. So we engaged that group early on. We had a couple of them on our project team, so they were involved from RFP through the launch. And we, kind of dubbed those individuals recognition champions since they are so passionate about recognition. When we launched the tool, we really talk about building a culture of recognition, and we talk about how there are lots of ways to recognize, and Okta Appreciate and the platform is just one more way. So we by no means say that the platform is end all be all. There's so many ways to recognize, and that's what we're trying to foster is that culture. So when we launched, part of what we did was we sent out a package to each person, a physical package in the mail. And that included some special company branded thank you cards, a little tip card for how to do recognition well, an Okta Appreciate branded pen. And so we said that, there's lots of ways to recognize. Okta Appreciate as one more. And here's some thank you cards as well.
Yeah, I actually coincidentally have one of those packets with me. I carry it at all times, but kind of cool if you can see this on the camera. It has some physical cards. Again, they do single sign-on SSO, so they have some fun cards tied to their messaging like, your SSO, super, splendid, outstanding. So some really clever stuff to get people engaged and excited up front. Now, one of the things I'd love you to quickly touch on is how you're using recognition champions, because people have heard of that and do that, but you guys do it in a pretty unique way where the champions change and evolve over time.
Yeah, so the recognition champions, like I mentioned, when we launched, we identified people in the org who are good at recognition naturally, like are really invested in it. We said, hey, when we launch, you are the recognition champions. Here's, some previews, et cetera. But then after launch, we then said each month we would look at the previous month and see who gave the most recognition. And we take the top 100 people who gave the most recognition in the previous month, and we make them the recognition champions for the following month. And so that program has special perks. And one of those is that they all get an additional bank of points to give out in that month. And so that helps us really focus on the act of giving and recognizing the act of giving by, giving them that special ability.
So such a good idea for all of you who are listening. When you think about recognition champions, have them evolve and be some of your most passionate people. So, okay, Laura, we're down to 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Tell us about some of the results you've seen in this first year together with Awardco.
Yeah, we've seen just a short time after launch, we had an employee engagement survey, and we saw the recognition dimension go up 4 points when some of the other dimensions, or most of the other dimensions, stayed flat, or some even went down. So definitely gratifying to see that the program has been making an impact.
Laura, thank you for joining us. It's been fun to have a little chat, and we appreciate you being such a great and creative and fun client. So thank you. Okay, so now I've already tucked him up. I'm going to introduce one of my favorite people here at Awardco, one of our clients' favorite people. His name is Spence. He's our head of product, and him and his team make magic happen for our clients. So with that, come up, Spence.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate that. And thank you for joining us today. We're excited to share some of the things we've been hard at work on over the past few months. Before we jump into the updates, I want to take a moment to thank our talented product and engineering teams. This group is highly engaged in our purpose to recognize the good, and I'm very grateful for each member of our team and the contribution they provide. Additionally, I would like to thank our customers that take the time to partner with us. We are truly hyper-focused on solving problems and creating value for them. The feedback they have shared, both good and bad, has been invaluable. Over the past 18 months, Awardco has made a significant investment in our product and engineering teams, which has allowed us to make meaningful improvements to the product at a higher velocity. It is important to note that not all improvements are visible. We performed several key architectural updates that increase the platform's speed, security, and reliability. To help present some of our improvements, I have asked a few of our product professionals to join me today. We are going to highlight some of the many updates we have made over the past few months. I'm going to invite my team to come in now. So to help organize our releases, we've grouped our updates into 3 categories. We've created several features designed to improve administration in the Awardco platform. We've also focused on key developments to enhance the user experience. Lastly, we'd like to give a sneak peek into what's coming in Q2. I would like to introduce Landon Johnson, our product manager over our Reach team. Landon, will you share with us some of the updates your team has been working on for the past few months?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Spence. Our purpose as the integrations team is to make life easier for our Awardco admins and to help promote adoption and engagement for the Awardco platform. As the number of integrations we offer is continually growing, we wanted to create one easy place for our admins to find, learn about them, and install them. So our new integrations landing page is available in the admin settings area of the platform. And coming soon, every integration will have its own details page, providing even more information and setup assistance. We're excited to announce our newest integration, which is with Microsoft Outlook. A lot of our clients use Outlook as their primary tool for communication, and our integration makes it possible to recognize your peers from directly within Outlook. It's super easy. You'll simply just click on the Awardco tile, and then a familiar and simple recognition tool will appear, where you'll enter in the name of the people you want to recognize, some details about the recognition, and then hit submit. And those recognitions are automatically synced with your Awardco platform. So this integration is available now. You can install it via Microsoft App Source, or you can head to the integrations page in Awardco to start setup. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is a new functionality that we now support called bulk recognition via SFTP. So occasionally our clients will want to recognize their employees in bulk. And historically, this has always had to be done manually by an admin logging onto the platform and uploading a bulk recognition file. What we've done is we've created the ability to automatically transfer this file to us and have those recognitions processed on an automated basis. So here's how it works. A file is generated by an admin or a system that they are using, and then that file is sent to us via SFTP. Once we receive the file, our system will process it and populate those recognitions into the queue on the appropriate Awardco platform. And then those recognitions will process according to the parameters that were outlined on the file. So it's a really simple but really powerful feature that we're excited about because it really opens the door for the potential to better integrate with systems that you're already using. So some exciting stuff.
That's great, Lana. Thanks for sharing that. The integrations and what we're doing there is super impactful for our customers, so I appreciate that. Let's turn now to Kristen Smith, our Senior Product Manager on our platform team. And Kristen, why don't you share with them some of the things you're doing with home pages and roles and permissions?
Absolutely. One of the big changes that we actually started rolling out to clients this month and we've already seen a big impact with is our roles and permissions feature. At its core, roles and permissions allows organizations to grant access to the admin areas of the system to the right people and give them access to the right data. We know that every company has unique needs around their roles, so this enables them to be able to do that. For example, if you have HR business partners, now they can see their entire division worth of data. If you have finance people, they can log in and just get the money reports. Or even if you just want to streamline your everyday manager experience to give them just the right reports so they can do their job, you can do that now. The roles and permissions is all built off of the metadata features. So you're able to really control the metadata visibility. You're able to control the visibility by metadata. So you can set up who qualifies for a role and what data they can see down to that very creative level. You can get really powerful with this. This is a ground level change that opens the door for a lot of things in the admin area. So we're hoping to build on top of this to expand our admin tools, to be able to create a suite of insights and reports to be able to allow our clients to be able to use the Awardco platform in ways they've never been able to before. Another big thing that we've worked on that we actually rolled out last year, but we're continuing to work on it, is our home pages. So the home pages is all about admin empowerment. Being able to have more control over your brand and your brand message without having to go through a middleman. So no more having to talk with professional services to get updates to your homepage. You can make your edits directly in the homepage editor, preview those changes, and publish those changes out immediately. You can even layer roles and permissions onto this. So if you wanted to, for example, grant someone access in the marketing team to be able to have edit ability on the admin settings, you don't have to give them access to view reports. They can just go in and make their changes. We truly built this to be easy. And to prove this out, when we rolled this out internally, we ran a homepage contest. So I did the presentation in the morning, gave everyone training, and I gave them until the end of the day to submit some creative ideas on homepages, and we had some really cool results. We had some examples like a Monsters Inc. homepage, where they were able to showcase some things like a monster scare leaderboard. We had a really cool Indiana Jones one that had some highlights of his adventures and his classroom schedule. And we had my personal favorite, which was a Harry Potter one that was able to showcase and use the metadata to create different banners and widgets based on the metadata, so that way the different houses as they logged in could see a different experience. It was a lot of fun. This really is just the very beginning of what we're doing with homepages. We're continuing to build out widgets as we go. And some of the widgets that we've done recently, we actually have a catalog highlight widget. So if you want to, for example, we've internally tried to promote some of the humanitarian efforts that we're doing, or for example, if you wanted to highlight things like Women's History Month, you can now create a catalog highlight widget to drive some redemptions towards specific areas of the system. We also have another widget that is something that we have been asked for a ton, which is we call it our opportunities to give widget. And it brings to the surface your budget and your program limitations directly onto the homepage, so you can see those without having to start a recognition. So most of the widgets that we have do take advantage of the settings and the metadata, so you can truly go in and create a homepage experience that is tailored and crafted to make your employee experience much more delightful and just targeted all around.
Oh, I appreciate that. I love the flexibility and roles and permissions and the homepage editor and what you can do there, really enhancing that customer experience. In regard to customer experience, Mark, why don't you share with us what the team's been working on the redemption side and recognition side to improve that customer experience?
Yeah, thanks, Spence. The first part that I do want to talk about is a new deep link directly to recognitions. We all know how important it is to be able to share your recognitions with your peers and your managers, so we've given you the opportunity to directly link that to increase your engagement. Your manager or your coworkers can go and add comments or reactions directly to that. And it's also set us up for future opportunities for sharing this both inside and potentially outside of the platform as well. The second thing that we've done on the recognition side is our award codes. We've talked about these a little bit already today, but our award codes are a way for us to give on the spot, in person, offline recognitions. These are codes that can then be scanned directly into the system, get you some points, and it can be branded directly to the organization. We've seen a lot of really cool examples of this for our clients who have already adopted the award codes. This can also be used primarily with offline engagement and offline recognitions for our employees who don't necessarily have access to emails or work computers. So it's opened up a huge opportunity for us in the way that recognitions can be handled. Additionally, we allow for self-provisioning so that both clients and customers are able to give and receive recognitions and get on the system and get ready to redeem their points. Moving into our redemptions, we've recently launched and will be rolling out a spend points landing page. This brings together all of the redemption options that are available to you on the platform in one easy to browse and discover location. This will allow you to filter, search, and select consistently across things like Amazon, gift cards, swag stores, or any of the custom catalogs that have been set up on your platform. This will give us some additional recommendations on things that you have points available to purchase for, and it's even aware of the smart networks that you have to make sure that you know where your points can be spent. Once you've added those items to your cart, we've made the cart experience that much more exciting and non-interruptive. You're now able to see the items that are in your cart, add items directly from your wish list, and get straight into that checkout process, all without having to go outside of what you've been actively doing. Which brings us to probably our most requested feature, which is the ability to purchase points on the platform. You now have the opportunity in those cases where you're either maybe short a few points for the thing that you really want, or you just have a handful of points left over that you'd like to spend, to use your credit card to supplement the difference between what's in your cart and what you have available. This is something that is optional. So you can reach out to us and have that turned on for your platform. And we're going to be expanding this in the future as we continue to build out this new feature.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Mark, for sharing that. So the initial feedback from our spend points feature that Mark talked about has been great. And earlier on in the presentation, our CEO and co-founder, Steve Sonnenberg, shared our vision to become the world's largest configurable marketplace. What Mark just shared regarding the redemption experience is another step closer to achieving that vision. I would like to now jump ahead to Q2 and provide a sneak peek of what we are planning to share next quarter. Coming in Q2, you'll be able to add video messages to your recognitions and memory book submissions. Additionally, we will be releasing our SMS text recognition notification that is currently in beta testing. This will allow for additional outreach and engagement for a dispersed and mobile workforce. Making recognition a part of your normal business workflow is key. To assist with this, next quarter, we'll be fully rolling out our Workplace from Meta integration. Lastly, in Q2, we're thrilled to be delivering the first portion of our Team Engagement Insight tool. We know how important measuring engagement and recognition ROA is for our customers. More to come next quarter on this great feature. Thank you for allowing us to share the exciting things we've been working on. We only shared a handful of the many things our product teams have developed, and there is much more on the way. To learn more about these updates, check out our support pages and the Awardco Minute you'll receive later today. And now it's my pleasure to welcome back Ryan Sudweeks and another stellar client, Maddie Crowley from Solutions Reach.
All right. Hi, Maddie.
Hello.
So thank you for joining us.
Of course.
So these people, they all know about me now from a few minutes ago. Tell us about you.
So I work for Solution Reach. My name is Maddie Crowley. I am coming up on 9 years at Solution Reach. And we do basically patient engagement for doctors and dentist offices. And so that's our main purpose.
And you're here in town.
Yeah,
right?
we're just a few exits away.
Is this your first time in our office?
Yes, it's awesome.
Good to have you. So how many employees do you have?
We are around 250.
250, okay. So let's talk about your programs today with Awardco and a little bit about your journey. So I know you started with service awards to really enhance and focus in on that. And it's your 9th anniversary, I think, this Friday.
Yep.
And you've also added in other programs. So tell us a little bit about the programs that you're doing today and why the focus started with service awards.
Well, it really kicked off, believe it or not, there was a time where whether it was your 1st anniversary or your 5th anniversary, you were getting a balloon and a nice card on your desk,
Yeah.
which is great, but we wanted to definitely up our game. And so it started with service rewards, coming up on 9 and 10 years. I definitely want, the good 10-year reward.
Yeah.
But another one that we were doing is birthdays. Everyone's birthday, they would get something, or holiday, or if somebody was out for a baby or wedding, we tried to just cover the board with a lot more personal touch programs.
Do you still do the balloons as well?
No. We actually went a lot more remote. We're kind of the hybrid like you guys are. And so no physical balloons, and Awardco is just an answer to reward people anywhere.
Okay, so it sounds like a lot of what you're doing with Awardco is consolidating a lot of different programs and automating things. What benefits has that brought to you, especially as you administer the programs?
Yeah, me and the other admins are, praising the Awardco platform. When we started Awardco, it just opened our eyes on how different the different departments were recognizing people. And so I heard it consistency earlier, and I was like, that was a huge one for us, from an administrative and just organizational standpoint on how people were being rewarded, but also on a team member perspective. They're watching a department get recognized more often or things like that, and they're not feeling the love as much. So just bringing it all into Awardco really helped us understand how everyone was being rewarded, get it all in one place. We even wrote a policy for our handbook on how leaders should recognize and how to use Awardco. And it just really boosted morale for everyone to know they're on the same playing field as far as recognition.
I like that. It seems really simple, but something we don't always think about is just the power of having consistency, where somebody can come in and recognize somebody in the same way as someone else, or be recognized in the same way, aligned to values, and just in a really aligned and consistent way.
Yeah.
So.
And as an admin, we can see what teams are getting even Awardco more often, and we just have a lot more visibility on reaching out to those managers and encourage them to recognize and incentivize.
Ooh, I like that too, the visibility part. Like sometimes, when you have different programs and different things are happening in different parts of the company, you don't understand what's really happening. You don't understand what's being spent and what budget looks like. But the single platform, bringing everything together, helps with just understanding everything and having that visibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Super excited to hear about the product updates. I'm like, oh, I'll use that.
Oh yeah,
I'll use that.
probably some new stuff that you heard today, which is kind of cool. So I know with your company, with your employees, they're spread out everywhere. You're considered virtual first ever since the pandemic. Mm-hmm. How has recognition helped create connections with your people? And Awardco specifically, how has it helped kind of bring people together who are not working together every single day?
Yeah, a big one was right in the beginning, and we started hiring nationwide, and we're not all in Utah anymore. We would constantly have raffles or things like that for a company party, and we're like, how do we recognize so-and-so in Ohio, and what do we do? And so instead of having a lot more physical items, we went towards Awardco points,
Yeah.
This raffle is for this many points and things. So just kind of cutting out a lot of physical items, because the shipping is going to be more convenient for them and us, and they can choose how they want to be recognized, which was really big. One thing I love that our R&D leaders have done is they have a quarterly, I believe quarterly lunch, and they invite everyone.
So it's like a virtual
virtual,
lunch, yeah.
Jump on Zoom, bring your own lunch, but the manager sees who's there and sends everybody things in Awardco so they can redeem it for some food or whatever they really want. But it's kind of a way to stay connected even though they can't go out to lunch together.
Yeah, so it brings people together, recognition, even if they're not sitting in the same office. Now, I'm probably catching you on the spot. I asked Laura the same thing. Can you think of, do you have like a favorite recognition story or example that's gone through the platform?
Let's think. I would say one of my favorites that we have is one of our programs is for anyone who has a new baby or an adoption. Mm-hmm. And kind of that same thing where things were inconsistent before. Some managers were like, oh yeah, so-and-so's out on leave or whatever. Did you send something? Should we send something?
Yeah.
There was just a lot of uncertainty. And so we decided to have just here is what you do when somebody is out for a baby or adoption or something like that. And so just being able, I help people with leaves of absence. It's part of my role in HR, and letting them know, hey, there's some Awardco points coming your way, pick out something cute for the baby. That's just been really fun for me to throw at people when they're out on leave.
Yeah. So it sounds like you've said a few key things. Like it sounds like automation has been huge, helping just trigger things automatically and be automated.
Yeah.
You talked about consistency, visibility. Anything else that comes to mind as you think about the benefits of bringing programs together?
Automation, consistency, those are the...
You might have nailed them all, yeah.
I mean, I would say support as well. Like, love turning people towards the chat or call support if anything goes wrong, which I hear very little of as an admin, which is great news. But just having that confidence in the support side and knowing that they're going to get help whenever something's up, it's always been great.
Cool. So we love our partnership. Do you have a favorite sort of feature or something that you're most excited about as you plan and think about this next year?
I was really excited to hear just more about the bulk upload feature. We have, as admins, take turns and go in whenever there's a bulk recognition coming up. So that was one that excited me. We just did one for Employee Appreciation Day, a week or two ago. And so... Oh yeah,
what did you do that day?
Everyone got a flat points across the board, and the CEO
message.
wrote, a message for everybody. But we only decided that week, what we were going to do. It was like, do we send swag? Do we do this? And I was like, let's just use Awardco. And it was way easy, fast, streamlined, didn't have to do a ton of planning, and that's what I like.
People do like that about our software a lot. Like, you can think of a program one day, and someone can turn it on within a few minutes, and it's sort of ready to go and get going, the next day. So.
It's my answer 9 out of 10 times with
well,
what we should
like
do.
that. We appreciate that. So, Maddie, thank you for joining us. Any final words for our audience today?
Drink the Awardco Kool-Aid. It's where it's at.
Thank you. So, okay, that's...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Maddie. So, for our next speaker, we have a fan favorite here at Awardco, one of my favorites, a really great leader and someone who really understands our solutions and works with our clients, and that is Callie Hyde. So I'm going to turn it over to Callie.
Thank you, Ryan, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm excited to demo our new purchase points functionality, which has been the most highly requested product in Awardco history, and for good reason. Purchase points is powered by Stripe and allows Awardco users to use their points, use their credit card, or use both their points and their credit card to redeem anything they'd like from the online marketplace. This feature went live for us here at Awardco about 2 weeks ago, and I was able to test it out in real time to purchase a Roomba vacuum. As I was checking out, I didn't have enough points to cover the cost. Classic. So instead of having to wait a few weeks to accrue more points, like I've done in the past, I used my credit card to top off the remaining balance. Now, voila, I have a Roomba vacuum, 98% discount. I had to pay a whopping $4 to purchase the Roomba, all thanks to Awardco. Talk about the halo effect. So, without further ado, here's a quick walkthrough demo of our new purchase points tool. So first, you're going to log in to the Awardco platform using your username and credentials. Here we go into the Spend Points landing page. Here I can see within my profile I have 175 points in my account, equivalent to $175. From here, I'm jumping into the Amazon catalog, and I already know that I want to purchase a Roomba. From here, I select the product that I'd like, add it to my cart, and from here, proceed to checkout. So here I'm going to view my cart. It's going to give me a notification here telling me that I don't have enough points to cover this order. I only have 175 points in my account, and I need 4 points to make up the total. From here, I can select my address. Again, it's going to notify me that I need to purchase points if I want to complete this order for the remaining balance of 4 points or $4. And this is where I enter in my own personal credit card information. And from here, pay and complete order. And it is that easy. Order complete. I used 175 of my Awardco points. I then purchased 4 additional points, or $4, using Stripe through the purchase points. And now I have a Roomba that is on my way to my house. So there you have it. Very simple and easy for your employees, and will bring a ton of value per different use cases. This is all available now, so if you're a current client and would like to turn on this functionality, please contact your Awardco Client Success Manager, and they can turn this on at no additional charge. If you are not a client but interested in learning more about this feature or other Awardco offerings, please email sales@awardco.com. Now I'd like to hand it over to Malachi, who will be speaking to our client support and continued education initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you. So now that you've seen the vision of the platform going forward, some of the questions that you might have might include, so how do I start? What resources are available to myself and my team to be successful in bringing our vision to fruition? How do I take the reins? Well, let me share with you one powerful starting point. Our client success team has created a number of resources to help you as the rubber meets the road, and one of them is our How We Built This workshop. These recurring workshops are an opportunity for us to highlight new platform features and how you can create with them, as well as spotlighting clients and creative ways that they are using the platform. As we highlight these features and clients, we do real-time training on how to set up these features in your own platform. The format of our workshop is very interactive. We always present with us a number of subject matter experts, including the product managers who have led the building of our features. We monitor the chat as well as allow for real-time question and answers so that you can extract the direction and the help you need to implement these features. So what have we covered and what do we plan to do in the future? We've showcased a number of features with accompanying trainings for things like our popular purchasing points feature, as you just saw from Kelly, as well as highlighting the same client who has created a zero incident safety culture mentioned by Paige earlier. We have upcoming workshops helping you to implement incentive programs and, like product teased earlier, recognition through SMS text. So how do you find these workshops? Sign up. Simply navigate to our support site at support.awardco.com. Click on the How We Built This tile. Here, you can view past workshops as well as sign up for an upcoming workshop. We'll also send out a link in the upcoming Awardco Minute emails, and we hope to see you there. And now I'd like to welcome back to our stage our fearless leader, Steve Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Malachi. I appreciate you sharing those things, and thanks to everyone participating today. It's been awesome, and we hope you've enjoyed everything that you've watched today. Now, the future is bright, and we feel like we're truly just getting started. We'd like to invite you to our next Culture Quarterly. It's already on the schedule. It's May 16th, 11 Eastern. Registration will be on our website soon. We're also going to email everyone that has registered the link to sign up directly. Now, as like we mentioned earlier, we need your help. A survey was sent out following this event. Now, we'd like to tell you, we want you to tell you what you like. Tell us what you didn't like. Tell us what you want more of. Because without you, there's no us. Awardco is for you. It's for those that recognize. And I actually put on my Recognize hoodie to close this out because this is one of my favorite swag items that we have. Now, human beings are happiest when we feel truly valued. And we feel valued when our contributions are recognized. To recognize others is to see and reward their value. Encompassed in this one word is a world of positivity. To acknowledge, to accept, to appreciate, to reward, or to say a simple thank you. Awardco is for those who recognize. Recognize the good in each human being, and then at times, we fall short. Recognize that limitless value is in each of us, ready to be realized. Recognize how far we've come, but yet we still have a long way to go. It's a beautiful cycle, and your efforts are at the center. So let's recognize more of our value together. And now, it's time to get your phones out, as I mentioned earlier. Be fast. Scan one of these award codes. Choose wisely which one you can scan. It'll ask you to create an account. It's one of our self-provisioning options. If you don't have an account, you can create one. Be the first to claim $100 in our events platform. So go ahead and click. I love these award codes. I have one in my pocket right here. I love giving them out. It's a great way to touch and feel Awardco and to write a little message and to say thank you. So scan, hopefully we got some winners. If you get to the end and it says the code's already been taken, well, we'll have lots of more of these codes to come in future events. So again, thank you. We really appreciate the time you took with us. Until we meet again, I'll remind you to recognize the good around you. We'll see you soon.
Maybe let's fall in love.